Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Carpathian Countryside. What is up there? And I'll be honest, I almost said Saskatchewan. Snowman, what is up? Waylon, how you doing? And Farmer G, what is up, everybody? As the thumbnail says, we are, well, we're a little contractually obligated. We're loaded up with 3 contracts. Don't think we're going to get all 3 done tonight, but hey, it's all decent money. We don't have anything better to do. We're in the middle of our own grass, which is what we're doing now. Plasma VR, welcome. Tonight we got a whole heap load to chat about. Some pretty big surprises have been dropped on us this week, I would say. And, well, I know what your all's take is, and I'll give you my take as well. Sean, what's up? Welcome. Welcome to the party. Indeed, something is premium. All right, come on. There we go. Let's see how much of this we can get collected in the next 6 minutes or so. Doing our pre-show. Diablo del Toro, welcome. Sean, how you doing? Here, which one of these is which? That's the T. I think this is the windrower or the tedder. I think that's what that is. We're gonna need the tedder. Yep, the T model is the tedding model. I just want to go see how this works. Diablo del Toro, what is up? And it's kind of ironic you say, hey, hey, because we got some hey, hey contracts we're going to be working tonight. And what I don't remember from this is what does it do? Alright. So it makes a mess. So we're gonna have to windrow it no matter what's it. That's perfectly fine because I know what I want to use. Ted and windrow. Patiently waiting. Did you not watch the video earlier? Let's top that up. Where is... Oh, I know where it is. Park these. And get on with the program. What's up, Doc? That's right, Tookie. Ah, well. Let's just say lots of interesting information has come our way. We have a name for the new map, part of Pack 5. We have a name for Pack 5. We know the 3 new crops that are being added. 4 new brands are being added. 35 plus vehicles and machines are being added. Rumors afoot that straw harvest is coming back. We have FarmCon this weekend. A new edition of the game is coming out this fall. That includes 6 maps. I've been only able to account for 5. So we have a mystery map. Goldeneye, what's up? Very interesting news indeed. I got a rather funny story to tell you about the Texas map that released yesterday. I did that video last night. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our Carpathian Countryside gameplay. We're doing a little chat today. We got loads of farm sim news. Oh my gosh, it just comes in droves as of late. We're going to be chatting about that. We're going to listen to your all's thoughts. We also have a ton of contracts we need to do. So, first and foremost, what is everyone's initial thoughts on the announcement of the premium expansion coming out November 14, 2023, including a new Eastern European map? Lanka is, I believe, the name, if I am remembering halfway correctly. In addition, we have 3 new crops in carrots, parsnips, and red beets. 4 new brands coming to the game in the premium expansion. 1 new brand, D Wolf, at least I guess I'm saying that right, appears to produce root crop harvesting equipment. New gameplay mechanics with respect to the root crops. 35 plus new machines from those 4 brands, as well as several brands that we already know and love. New birds, that's right. As Go and I mentioned, we have storks instead of likely blackbirds. At least the screenshots included storks, did not include any blackbirds. The map is very Softnoska inspired, which is of no real shock or surprise, in the fact that both are Eastern European of origin. I've got some screenshots I can share with you guys. Same screenshots from the press release, but some of you, I know, have been living under a rock, quite literally, and wouldn't have seen those, so we'll go ahead and share those here in a little bit. In addition to the premium expansion, which was announced, they also announced the premium edition. And the premium edition, while it's likely not very exciting or entertaining to those of us that have Farm Sim, it is the pack of all packs, the bundle of all bundles for Farm Sim 22 content. Perfect for a player that is getting into the game. Potentially perfect for the player that has just the base game and no other paid content. Because for those of us that have the game, we can buy the premium expansion. The premium expansion is going to get us the new map. It's going to get us the new crops. It's going to get us the new brands. It's going to get us the new gameplay elements, which I haven't mentioned yet. The premium edition is going to get us the base game. It's going to get us the entirety of the year 1 and 2 season passes. It's going to get us 6 maps. 6 maps. Now, one might think, okay, let's name those 6 maps off. All right, so we have Elm Creek. It's map 1. We have Holt Belarun and Erlengrad. Those are the 3 base game maps, so those are 3. We have Silver Run Forest. That is map 4. We have Zilanka, which is the new map coming in pack 5. That is map 5. Well, what We're short a map. What's map 6? Where's their 6? There appears to be a mystery map that is yet to be announced. That is coming to something. Could the premium edition or the premium expansion include literally 2 maps? Is there maybe a map coming in pack 3? Is there a map maybe coming in pack 4? Is there a map coming in something that is yet to even be announced or mentioned? Right? So what are the new gameplay elements? I alluded to those. For those that did not hear the announcement or see the blog post, the new gameplay elements are the need to prepare your root crop seed bed. Maybe we kind of saw this coming with the seed bed texture layer. Maybe we didn't really see it coming, but at any rate, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to ridge or hill, whatever you want to call it, the ground before planting our parsnips, our carrots, and our red beets. So we're going to cultivate the soil like normal. We're going to get it all ready to rock and roll. Then we're going to need to use a hiller or a ridger, whatever you want to call it, in order to prepare the ground, in order to create the ridges. And then we're going to have to use a special planter that is going to plant our carrot seed, parsnip seed, and red beet seed into those ridges. It's yet to be established if we're going to have any changes to how potatoes work. I could see possibly us having to ridge potato crop or potato fields and then completely change how potato planters function as well. Or they may leave the potato stuff all on its own. So as such, we can anticipate we're going to have custom ground equipment in order to make the ridges. We're now going to have custom planters for those new crops. Clearly, we're going to have custom harvesters and equipment to haul those root crops. Very similar to the Platinum expansion for Farm Sim 17, where we got sugarcane as a new crop and a heap ton of sugarcane related machinery. Fiat is a brand that was mentioned with respect to bringing more Fiat equipment into the game. I don't know if Fiat makes anything new or if all the Fiat stuff is going to be kind of more classic in nature. They did show a large DeWolf self-propelled harvester in one of the preview shots and at the very end of the trailer, which we could also run. We could also play the trailer for those that haven't seen it. It'll be very interesting as they start to reveal equipment with the fact sheets. And of course, with this coming out in November, we have, what, 5 months? 5 months between now and the release. And we still have Pack 3 and Pack 4 yet to be not only announced, but also released. And then on top of that, Creative Mesh goes and releases a Facebook post teasing something that is very likely straw harvest related. 3 straw square bales side by side in the foreground and in the background. And just a little hint about something coming soon. are to be announced soon. Could it be the entirety of the Straw Harvest Pack from FS17? From FS19? Something different, but still Straw Harvest like. I tell you what, I really used the heck out of the Straw Harvest Crone, sorry. Straw Harvest Crone Square Baler in FS17 with the 3 bale accumulator. And then they had with the Straw Harvest Pack a 3 bale grapple. I used that quite extensively on several maps once it released. Grenade Racer, we really don't know, right, at this point. Hopefully we'll get some more information at FarmCon this weekend, because this weekend is FarmCon Saturday and Sunday. I have it on extremely good authority that the schedule will be released tomorrow. I've already seen the schedule. The schedule has been sent to ticket holders, so I would say the schedule is not secret at this point. But I can tell you there is sessions related to the Premium Edition. There is a session related to the new map. There is a session related to a third-party mod. Could that be Straw Harvest? Could that be something else? We'll just have to wait and see. Schultz, what is up? What is up? Now, what I do not think we're going to see is I do not think Straw Harvest will be Pack 3 or Pack 4. They've kind of established third-party DLCs as not being part of the Season Pass by having pumps and hoses be an add-on year 1. If it was suddenly part of year 2 Season Pass, that would feel a little bit like knife stabbing in the back, I think, for some players. So let's severely hope that they are not reneging on that and are making Straw Harvest, which would be undoubtedly a third-party DLC, part of the year 2 Season Pass. Reith, I cannot assure you that I would do a video. What I can assure you is I would look at it. It all depends on basically where it's released and if it's error-free and some things like that. Golden, I agree. So I think that is a bridge that they have burned and they cannot rebuild. So I can't think that they can never going forward make a third-party DLC inclusive in a Season Pass because of the way they reacted and responded to the inquiries about pumps and hoses being included in, not included in the Season Pass, right? So I think if it suddenly it would be like, well, what's up with the complete 180? Now, I can not like the decision, but what I want is consistency. Right? If there's a decision made that I don't like, that's fine, I'll live with it. But let's hope that that decision is consistent. We do have storks. I'm going to bring up some images once we get done collecting this grass. Storks appear to be replacing blackbirds on the map. Storks will fly around. Storks will nest on top of power lines or power poles, utility poles. From the images and from the trailer, it does look like we have some pretty large fields being offered. GoldenEye speaks from experience, but maybe Eastern European storks are nicer. We have new traffic. We've seen some new traffic in the trailer. Lots of new buildings, new factories, new productions. They tease the ability to make soup, make tinned vegetables. Let's call that canned vegetables. Right, so canned carrots, turnips, and parsnips. And, well, if you're into potatoes, sounds like they're going to have a potato chip factory. Now, what I don't know is, are these potato chips like what we say potato chips are? Are these potato chips like French fries? Potato chips? I don't think it really matters. All I know is it's going to take potatoes and it's going to make some product out of them. So we'll finally have a production chain that involves potatoes. Sax Daddy, there will not be a new farm sim for quite a while. And when there is a new farm sim, no, we will not continue playing FS22. Because quite honestly, the amount of interest that FS22 will hold once a new FS is released is about a 0. So if and when we see a new FS release, I am speculating that we might see a new FS release in late 2024 at the absolute earliest. We will be shifting over to whatever that is. Oh, I wonder what the collectibles might be on the new map. Maybe we have to feed the storks. Maybe that means there's fishing. Storks eat birds, or storks eat fish. Do all storks eat fish? It would have been nice, yes, to have a production change involving potatoes at the initial release. Semper, what is up? What is up, my man? How's it going? Anybody else have some wild and crazy storms the last few days? We had, we didn't see it here local. Or at least not at the house, not at work. But there were some areas around here that had, like, larger than golf ball size hail. That was yesterday. Jeremy, how you doing? Everybody's coming out tonight. Yeah, lots of interested parties. Alright, I promised some screenshots. And now that we have dumped our grass, let me get those prepped up for you guys. Give me a brief moment to get those pulled up. You know, had someone been properly prepared, You would already have those up and running. First, let's watch the trailer. Let's watch the trailer. I've got this muted, so we won't have the nasty strike. But here we go. Now, in the video I released this morning, I did slow this down to 40% speed, and then kind of paused it at certain elements in order to kind of do a little bit of discussion on it. Now, that piece of machinery we've seen 3 times. That is a new planter that will plant in the hills that we have created. That was a new sprayer that we're going to get, and there's a new trailed de-wolf harvester, and then kind of the bit. Oh, there's an at the end. Okay. Now let's toss up the screenshots. So here we have the de-wolf harvester, and these I am assuming are carrots that we are harvesting. So we have our carrot tops. We are pulling those up and putting them in, and then ultimately harvesting those. Here we have a new brand, Agrio. Okay, so we have a new Agrio Gigant sprayer. So that's going to be new to the game. We've got a new factory off in the distance. It looks like it might be an oil logo. It's hard to tell. Here we go. Here we got our storks. Hello, Mr. Storky Stork. Here we got a kind of hilly road off in the distance. Fairly large looking fields. Oh, you gotta have these token bus stops, right? You see these in all the Polish maps. We've got new fencing. I'm hoping we can put these down with build mode. Lots of new structures. We won't necessarily have access to all these new structures right away. And then, oh, we have this. We see this on a lot of Polish maps. I've never been to Eastern Europe, so I don't know how much you see those, but you see those in a lot of Polish maps. There we go. I don't know if this is new. Farmet, extra steel line, but there we go. Yeah, we got one of those. Okay, sure, whatever. So here we have, this is a Kuverland, and this is a planter. So you've got your seed box here, and you're planting in the ridges. So we have already ridged the soil with a ridger, and now we're coming through with this new planter. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We're putting four ridges at a time, planting that. So that's what we saw through that trailer a lot of times. Oh, there's another stork. We've seen this building a few times. I'm assuming that's a church. Very soft Noska-like. And there you go. There's the big boy de-wolf tracked. Looks like it may have one wheel in the middle. So maybe like a trike. 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. Large scale harvester for carrots, parsnips, or sugar beets. And in the premium edition, like I said, it's Farming Simulator 22, 7 packs, 2 expansions, 6 maps. 6 maps, but we've only been able to come up with a total of 5 maps to this point. And November 14th, 2023 is the release date. Lots of cool news there, no doubt. Oh, Sacksteady, we do have new machinery coming from Grimmy, so that is a possibility for sure. It is definitely a possibility. Good morning, David. Good morning. You probably do need narrows on the ridges. You probably do need narrows on the ridges so that you don't de-ridge them. So we have new gameplay elements. We have 3 new crops. A total new region. All right, I said we were contractually obligated. Let's talk about the contracts I have taken out. Where are they at? Dang it. I've taken out 2 baling contracts to make hay bales. One we're delivering to the animal dealer, the other we're delivering to Jenny's Old Stones farm. And then, like an idiot, I've taken out a massive sugar beet contract. Yep, I did it. I would expect we might have some new clothing from at least one or more of those brands. Yes. I don't feel that it's going to be the esports map because of how they describe it. Let's go back to that real quick. So let's go back here. Okay. So agriculture, animal husbandry, and forestry on 6 maps. So the arena map does not have animal husbandry or forestry. It just has agriculture, and it's loosely agriculture because really you can only harvest a field, right? You can't really do anything with it, right? So agriculture, animal husbandry, and forestry on 6 maps. So that to me implies something not yet released, because we have 3 maps from the game itself. We have Erlengrot, Elm Creek, and Holt Run. We have Silver Run Forest, and now we have Zelonka is, I think, how you're supposed to pronounce the new Eastern European map. So that's a total of 5. And I don't think it's giving anything away to say that the ambassadors, including myself, posted yesterday in the Discord. You say 6, but I can only count 5 maps. And the only response we got was hashtag soon. Basically. Like, you'll be confused for a little while, and then you won't be confused anymore. Maybe we're going to find out at FarmCon, because FarmCon is, like I said, this weekend. So maybe all will be explained at that little thing we call FarmCon this Saturday, starting at 10 a.m. CEST. And then also going Sunday, Saturday to Sunday. There's going to be sessions on the Platinum expansion. Not the Platinum, the Premium expansion. There's going to be sessions on the new map. There's going to be sessions on production chains. There's going to be a session on modding in Blender. There's going to be a session on a new third-party mod. Notice they're not calling it a DLC, they're calling it a third-party mod. Could that be what Creative Mesh teased on their own Facebook? From what I understand, the schedule for FarmCon will be made public tomorrow. They've been cagey about that Schultz, and I'm going to probably say the answer is no, which is a little disappointing. Their most recent response was that the venue, the Duke's Flower venue, is out in the middle of nowhere, implying that the internet's not the best. I will do my best to bring you news if I get it in any way. But we may be relegated to recordings posted on YouTube after the fact. That's the way it used to be before COVID FarmCon, is they had kind of sessions they would record on YouTube or release on YouTube with translators of certain sessions. What I think of the hay and forage pack, I kind of enjoy using the machinery. In fact, we're going to be using some of it on these very contracts. I plan on using the tedder and the windrowers on these very contracts. As I mentioned when it released, that the hay and forage pack was, quite honestly, everything that I thought it would be and everything I hoped it wasn't at the same time, because I did not want it to be a Alpine Farming Expansion version 2.0, and that's what it very much feels like. But after using it for the weekend leading up to the release, after using it with several members of the Discord, including Schultz, and I think GoldenEye was in there with us, Tuki was in there with us, Semper was in there with us, I kind of warmed up to it being a fairly nice DLC, especially if you can use it in a multiplayer with a group. So yeah, we're gonna use the tedder and the windrower here, and then I'm gonna try something. Because I think they fixed it. We've got a Guvile stationary baler. I wanted to set the stationary baler up at the drop-off, and I wanted to basically run the hay down to the stationary baler with a forage wagon and basically sell the bales off in a contract that way. I don't know if it's going to work, but that's what we're going to try. Yeah, I kind of wish I could go to FarmCon, but there's several things working against me. One, financially, it is 100% not in the picture to travel to Germany for 2 days. Two, I don't have a passport. The only time I've been out of the country was probably 35 years ago, when I took a high school band trip to Canada. And let's just say the travel restrictions were a bit looser back then. I do know that there are some US-based creators going, but it's definitely not in the picture for me. Which is why I was really hoping that they would do the streaming. Eric, what's up? We'll see. I mean, if it didn't work on UMRV, it likely won't work for me, but we'll give it a try. We'll give it a try. Jeremy, I honestly didn't put cows in the breeding area of Hofburgman, but I would suspect that any breed of cow will go in there. I mean, after all, any breed of cow breeds. No, FarmCon is in Germany, which is totally expected because, well, Giant Software is a German-based company or Austrian-based, one of the two. They have offices in Austria, I think, and Germany, as well as now the U.S. And the fact that FarmCon is 100% put on by Giant Software. They own their own semis, they own their own stage, they have their own sound and video equipment. They invested in that many, many years ago. They use it for FarmCon, they use it when they travel for other European events centered around FSL and such. It wouldn't surprise me if, well, if we have kind of less people in the office this week, and if QA is processing less mods, because they are going to be 100% focused on setting up for FarmCon. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they may have a Swiss branch also. In fact, they may have talked about the Swiss branch when they were doing the whole theatrical preview for Farm Sim 22. Oh, thank you, Sean. Part of this, what is up? My chill is going well. We are loaded down with contracts. I was going to try to use the Gouville stationary baler on this contract, but Grenade Racer goes and informs me that forage wagons won't work on grass or hay contracts, which has put a little bit of a downer in my step. If we got a mod update, I didn't see it. It must have been super late. The last thing I saw on the mod hub was the Texas map, and that came out yesterday. So speaking of the Texas map, I got a funny story. Funny story to tell you. Last night it took me way too long to record that Texas video. The Texas video was like 20 minutes long. One of the shorter map videos of late. But it probably took me well over an hour and a half to record. Because I had to keep doing new cuts. Because I kept screwing up. And one of the mix-ups was I was running down through the prices screen, and when I got to the Platinum Expansion Productions, I said Premium Expansion Productions, and then I knew at that point I couldn't use that because we had at that point the Premium Expansion video staged to go live this morning, and even though it was a simple slip of the tongue, right? It could be construed as sharing information outside of the embargo date, so can that version and take 72. But I mean, come on. You have the Platinum Expansion and the Premium Expansion. Who's not going to constantly get those mixed up? I think they should have called it something like Gold and Platinum. The Gold Expansion was Silver Run Forest. Or call it the Silver. Heck, call it the Silver Expansion because of Silver Run Forest. And then the Platinum Expansion because the Platinum Edition would then be all inclusive. But no, the Premium Edition is all inclusive. Grass has crop destruction because he turned on stubble destruction for like corn and like straw or oat, wheat, barley stubble. I'm pretty sure it's a simple XML edit. To say which crops are eligible for destruction and which crops are not. Eric, I cannot help you one bit because I don't have an Xbox or know anything about how Xboxes work with respect to additional content. The only thing I know is I've heard people say that you have to go to the store and install the additional content manually. It doesn't auto install. So yeah, then we have Creative Mesh dropping an announcement about, well, what a lot of people are speculating is Straw Harvest coming back for a third iteration. Now, I had thought for sure last year's FarmCon, when they were talking about pumps and hoses, that they didn't have any real intentions on bringing Straw Harvest back, and instead wanted to concentrate on newer projects. But maybe player demand, player interest got them really interested in doing it. I mean, we're all speculating a straw harvest. When you post a picture of 3 square bales, 3 square straw bales in the foreground, all together, 3 square straw bales in the background, all together, I think straw harvest, because I think of the 3 bale accumulator that was a part of the big prone square baler that was a part of straw harvest. So we might learn more at FarmCon related to that. Jeremy, I am going to abstain from comment on anything greater than a 16x map, because I personally feel that any map that lists itself as being larger than 16x is totally just marketing hype. Typically they're not properly scaled, and as such you end up having issues with windrowed crops like grass, straw collection, things that would be dropping something on the ground, because the pixels, if you will, are just too big. So in the game, every square meter is a pixel on the texture map, if you will. And if you don't properly scale up your texture maps, then what you end up with are pixels that are much larger than they should be. By the tenor, and we're gonna grow with oh, it's just so darn expensive. We'll go with this, but I don't have any rear drive tractors. We're gonna have to lease something. We'll just lease this, and then we'll have to lease a tractor that does rear drive. Does the Landini do rear drive? No. We know the Vulture does. There we go. As far as other big North American style maps, I would say check out my North American playlist. That's going to have all the North American maps that I know about. And then you can make your decision off of that. So we have maps like UMRV, Emerald Coast. There is a New York map. The exact name is escaping me at the moment, but it's going to be in the playlist. There is a couple Canadian maps in that playlist. If the map is 4X, there will be a 4X on the thumbnail. Oh yeah, Middleburg. Like I said, it's all on the playlist. There's a North American map playlist in the channel. And with the Texas map, we're at map 749. Map video 749 since 2017. One away from 750 map videos. The big question is, which map would be 750? Playlist. You can organize YouTube videos into playlists, and I have many playlists. One of said playlists is a playlist for North American maps. They can be found by going to the channel and picking the playlist tab. There are playlists for FS22 map previews, map tours. There are playlists for North America maps, European maps, Polish maps, forestry maps, South America maps. That might be all of the map-specific playlists, at least for FS22. There are playlists for FS19 maps, FS17 maps. All the FS17 and 19 playthroughs all have their own playlists. So we may get word about straw harvest this weekend. Maybe there's something else up the Giants' sleeve. They still have to answer for what do they mean by 6 maps with the premium expansion. Not the premium expansion, the premium edition. You just won't be able to post links. Straw Harvest is a pack that was released in FS17 as a third-party DLC for Farm Sim 17. That included additional gameplay functionality centered around straw. So you can make straw pellets. The pellets could be used for various things. It also included different balers where you had the need to supply twine or net wrap to the balers. There were bale accumulators for square bales. There was bale handling equipment for bales that were accumulated. There was a building that you could place down that included the ability to basically make these pellets. There was a pellet press that you could run in the field that would make pellets with molasses and water. Creative Mesh brought Straw Harvest forward in FS19 as an all platforms mod on the Giants Mod Hub. It was a bit less functional than the Straw Harvest from 17, but still many people enjoyed it, and many people were hoping to see it make its way into FS22, and based on a recent Creative Mesh post, looks like that might be coming very soon. there'll be a new dynamic if it's any way like Straw Harvest of FS 17 or 19. It will be a new dynamic, a new gameplay element for those who would typically not bother with windrowing straw, because you really don't need it for animal bedding or anything else. The ability to make them into pellets then gives you a new production to then sell the pellets. You can make the pellets in a trail pellet vehicle, a trail pellet implement that picks straw up strictly from the ground, presses them into pellets, and then you unload it from a conveyor belt. There was also a bale shredder that you could set up that would attach to the pellet press, that would allow you to place square bales on the bale shredder conveyor belt. It would then basically shred the bale into the pellet press, and then again you would remove the pellets from the press via conveyor belt in a trailer. Then you had a factory building. You had a building that you could place down that would have a pellet press in it. And you would simply, or it wasn't a pellet press, sorry, it was a pallet factory. And you would basically unload your pellets into the factory, and you would then palletize those pellets, and of course you could sell palletized pellets for more money. Hello? I was left shift B, okay. We want to do work mode right. Yeah, that's fine. Here we go, boys and girls. One of my new preferred ways of windrowing. Thanks to hay and forage. So one way to use the palletizing factory was to place your pellet press in such a way that it would unload directly into the hopper or the palletizer, and then shred your bales directly into the press, which would then unload directly into the hopper for the palletizer. There was then lots of animations around palletizing the pellets. And then you could basically sell your pellets at a sell point, or you could take your pellets to, let's say, a heating plant to burn the pellets. And if you did that, you earned some money over time. at this point, it's all speculation. Brent, what's up? So I'm sure we'll be talking a lot about the FarmCon announcements next week. Today we are talking about the premium expansion, the announcement of the premium edition. Would love to know what your all's thoughts are on that. I'm interested in the new gameplay elements of having to basically hill your field before, or ridge your field before planting the new crops. Clearly I'm interested in the new map. I am interested in the what new Fiat vehicles we're going to get. 4 new brands, of which we've already seen a couple new pieces of equipment. 35 plus pieces of new machinery. New productions. At a minimum, we have the ability to make soup. It listed the ability to can the vegetables, so likely canned carrots, parsnips, and beets. And also a potato chip factory, so we'll have some way of using potatoes in our productions. This is a rear drive windrower. I mean, you could attach it to the front and drive straight. It would just look silly. So ideally, it's intended to be used with a rear drive vehicle like a Voltra, where it can change driving directions. Because when it's folded, for transport, where clearly you're not driving down the road, right, like this. So clearly you're not driving down the road like that. So it's intended to be driven from the rear. It saw what you're used to, right? Europeans do a lot of this reverse driving, but you could drive it this way. It would be technically not correct. But you could do this. It's just technically not correct. So yeah, you just go left shift B to change the driving direction. You see we have a different steering wheel now. But you'll see people mow this way. In fact, this mower here, when the game first came out, I used this mower in the wrong direction. But this is to be mounted to the rear of the tractor and then driven in a reverse direction. Okay? You wouldn't mount this to the front. It's mounted to the rear, but you would drive it backwards. We see a lot of times, we'll see a lot of times these mowers mounted to the rear in rear drive, so mounted to the front, and then this mounted to the rear, driving in reverse drive, because it puts your steers in the rear, and I think it makes it easier to steer. Yeah, we're driving forwards. All right, we got our own steering wheel. We have our own display. That wheel is turned up. Yeah, and the engine being attached to the, well, yeah, the engine being in front makes a great counterbalance for something like this on the rear also. So when you shift driving directions, your forward and reverse are still forward and reverse. You don't have to drive backwards to go forwards. So in reverse drive, W still makes you go forward. I'm hitting W now because I'm going forward with respect to my position. Oh, I don't think my classic Fendt will do that. About to see if I completely cannot use my Gouville. This is a Voltra S. It's a Voltra. I believe it's the S series. That's probably a mod, so I would have no idea. Yes, this is a 100% a base game tractor. Alright, so let's see what happens. And then we'll shift our, let's go back. Okay, here we go. Then let's left shift B. So we put that back in position, we raise the thing, we rotate our seat. We bring our seat back down, and now we're ready to drive in a traditionally forward position. Joe, it's done a lot in European streams. European gamers probably do reverse drive more than US based gamers. A little interesting factoid is Valtra tractors are A, N, T, and S models. That's right, it spells ants. And it goes from small to large. A would be the smallest Valtra of that product line. A, N, T, and then S. This would be the biggest Valtra in that naming scheme. I realized that back in, I think late FS17 days or early FS19 days. I was wait, if you order all the Valtras by size, they basically spell out ants. Oh, what happens here? What happens here? I guess when a movable traffic meets a movable train. Oh, are you serious? The SUV locked out. Alright, so let's see here. So let's go to Valtra. I don't think we have all those Valtras in the game right now. Valtra, we have, yeah, A, N, T. Oh, we don't have S. So this is the T series. We have Q now. So we have A, G, N, and the Valmet. I don't think the Valmet does reverse drive. No, it's not a configuration option. Pretty much all the Valtras have reverse drive configuration. And when you add reverse drive, you get the steering wheel and you get the dash in the back. Let's check Fent. Not that big. Not that one. Not that one. Clearly they don't. Doesn't look like any of the Fents do. Alright, we're just gonna see what happens. Oh, you big poopy head. Okay. Alright, no, we're not using, we can't use this then. We can't use our goo veal. Super disappointed. We can use this though. Oh, yeah. Did I mention I took out a beat contract? Donald, what is up? What is up? You know what I probably do not have? Oh, thank goodness. I do have that. So the pickup on this is narrow. You know what? Seriously? All right. We're like losing money. Like there's no tomorrow on this contract. Talk about depreciation. Make 3 bales and the thing is a lot less valuable. There we go. It would be nice if the Guville stuff would have a bigger pickup, or yeah, would make bigger bales. Why do I need tip anywhere? The Ubisoft pack is probably what, like $9.99. There's a partner link down in the description. Well, that pickup isn't any wider either. There's a partner link down in the description. I would have it. Well, as I say for pretty much everything, worth is in the eye of the beholder. So it would be up to you to establish if you feel it's worth it based on what it can do. And for that, I would suggest go and check out some of my pre-release videos on the Guville pack. It depends how much you bale and then how much you would realistically be using the baling machinery. Also includes some bale grabs. Quite frankly, there's a popular opinion that some of the Guville bale grabs are some of the best grabs in the game. We'll pull up everything that's included in it here in a minute. So included with the Gouville pack. Right here, we have a round bale grab that we can do front loader or a telehandler. We have the square bale grab, 3-point or a telehandler. And I believe this is the one that Schultz thinks is the best bale grab ever. It will literally grab a tractor and allow you to pick a tractor up. We have a 3-point hitch connected bale wrapper. So that you attach to the tractor and then you drive it around and wrap bales. We have a stationary bale wrapper. Oh, sorry, this one's trailed bale wrapper. Then we have the stationary bale wrapper. So you would place this in the field. Then you would bring bales to it. It would wrap them and then unload them. Perfect for multiplayer. You got one guy bringing the bales to be wrapped, one guy taking the bales from the wrapper and putting them somewhere else. And the detail on this belt is absolutely amazing. Then we have a series of balers. We have a traditional, just plain trailed round baler. We have a round baler and wrapper combo. Okay. Then we have 2 stationary balers. And the stationary balers unfold, really cool animations. You unfold, you bring loose material to this. It then loads it into the baling chamber, makes the bale, wraps it if it's a wrappable bale, and then unloads it. This also allows you to bale other things. So we can bale hay, straw, grass. We can bale chaff. We can bale sugar beet cut. We can bale total mixed rations. And you might think to yourself, well, why would I want to bale those? For storage. So you can make a 125 centimeter or 150 centimeter round bale of sugar beet cut and store bales, or you can make round bales of TMR that you mix up in a batch and just have them so it's easier to keep, transport, and make use of. On Hofbergman, on our favorite German map, Hofbergman, there is a script that will allow you to also bale pig food, manure, wood chips, and clover. Clover is a crop type on Hofbergman. That is a add-on mod script. I haven't tested it. I don't know if anyone else has tried it. To see if you can take the Gouville extension script mod from Hofbergman and use it on another map to, let's say, bale wood chips or to bale manure. And again, you can use manure then. You can store wrapped bales of manure. Whew! How about surprised if the wrap busts on that one? I was just thinking to myself, what would you say if you accidentally busted a wrapped bale of manure? You would say, oh shit, and it would literally be shit. I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. That's funny. That's funny. I don't care who you are. My sound effects are broken. It only becomes less funny. No, I don't care. It's funny. It's funny as shit. Pretty much. Okay. Alright, back to reality. Now, Hofbergman is a PC-only map, right? So that would be an added script mod. That would be a PC-only mod. I think most of my audience are PC players. And speaking of that, if you are looking at maybe getting a PC, or upgrading your computer to something else, or maybe getting your first computer, might I suggest you go check out Apex Gaming Computers. We've got a link to them down in the description. I have partnered with Apex Gaming Computers to create 3 custom SKUs. We have Yeoman, Homesteader, and a Rancher SKU. Right now, it is my opinion that the Homesteader SKU, which is the middle SKU, is kind of the best bang for the buck with respect to configurations. You get a 12th gen processor, 16 gigs of RAM. You get a water cooler, a 3060 Ti, 512 gig SSD, 750 watt power supply. Go check them out down in the description below. Using that link or the discount code FARMER-KLEIN, you save up to $250 on your order. Too hot in the house. How hot is it? I guess you don't have central cooling. You take the side panel off and you blow a fan in there. That's how you cool it. But yeah, I mean, I fully understand that. Are you kidding me? And that's the way it goes. You go and you think, all right, we got some nice money, right? We got money stashed away. I can finally splurge a little bit on myself and get something I've been wanting for a long time. You go and you make that investment, and then like a week later, all hell breaks loose and something major breaks. And you're thinking, are you serious? Because, you know, I could have used that money now that I spent on this other thing. Made that happen. Made that happen with the guy who was going to buy not my wife, but my daughter's car. My daughter's old car. He'd all but committed to do the transaction. And then his AC went out. And then he wasn't going to have money to do the deal anymore. Her old car, it was a 2004 Kia. It had fairly low miles. It mostly sat around for many years. It was a grandma car that really just kind of went to the store and church. You bought a tooth and a car. Tricky, what's up? Oh, Schultz's AC went out, not the car. That car probably had gold tooth as much as it cost. well, he's not gonna smile with you making threats like that. Right? I mean, come on. Uh-oh, Turkey gets his wisdom tooth out. What's he gonna do? He's not gonna be able to make these wise crack remarks. So what car did you end up picking? Clearly it wasn't a Nissan. Are you gonna unload this bale or not? I really wish you could unload almost full bales, but not complete. I think there was a mod for that in 19. $99. Oh, come on. We only need to get to 9,000. I think we're gonna get it. Yes. There we go. All right. Now the question is, do I have a trailer to transport these bales? Probably not. Oh, this contract just gets more and more expensive. I thought I had everything. I seriously thought I had everything. Do I have it? Hold on. Oh, I do. Nice. Oh, we could use this. Chevy Equinox. 26,000 miles. Left shift control R. Thank you. Auto load. Will I be able to auto load a different size bale? Probably not. Oh yeah, baby. I mean, that's not bad for a 3-year-old car, 20,000 miles. Oh, what? Are you serious? It's full? kind of lameness is that? Anyway, field 10. We gotta take to Jenny's farm. Of course we do. Tell you what I was doing. I was killing some time at work. So I was checking out some vehicles online, you know, just doing a little internet window shopping. And the hold on. These cars these days, they got like tons of like safety things going on. I mean, so much so that it's being distracted by a cell phone is the least of your distractions. I saw one has, you know, driving. You see the side mirrors. You see a little light come on other people's cars where it's like, you know, blind spot detection, and you think to yourself, "Oh, that's yeah, that's cool." I guess, you know, they look over and they see the light on, right? They know that there's a car in their blind spot. Well, I saw, I think it was a Kia. Like they have the dash isn't a dash anymore. The dash is a display. And if there's a car in your blind spot, it like puts a little, instead of your tack, it's like a little circle, but it's like a camera image of the car in your blind spot. It's like, is that not distracting? Especially on a bit busy interstate, constantly having all these cars, like, you know, on your dash. And then there was one where you could change your rear view mirror from being literally a rear view mirror to being a display of a camera shooting out the back of your vehicle. So now your rear view mirror is a rear view display of your tail end. Okay, let's talk about distracted driving now. When people can watch live cameras around them while they're toiling down the interstate. And then what? Charlie was telling me all about, what's it, lane, the stuff to keep you in a lane. Like, heaven forbid you not signal and want to change lanes. The car's going to fight you. It's like, you know what? If I want to change lanes, let me change lanes. Yeah, I think that'd be one of the first things I'd turn off, because honestly, I typically signal very, very rarely. If there's nobody around us, why should I signal? If I'm coming up behind somebody and I want to get in the left lane, I'm not signaling when there ain't nobody behind me. So then if the car's like, no, you don't want to go in there. It's like, hello, I do. It's like, would you just let me drive already? So John Deere has a shadow corporation called Kinsel Electric that filed a bunch of electric patents. So they're patent trolling, patent squatting. Left shift control R. Well, I mean, quite frankly, I mean, the worst they could do is make Tesla better quality. From what I understand, Tesla's like the Apple of vehicles. They make inferior products, but everyone's brainwashed to think they're good. That's everything. I hear about. So let's see here. So we can complete this one, and then I can take this to the animal dealer to complete the other. Oh. So do I need a left shift bar? 100% transported for field 20. So all I gotta do, I think, is mow. I think all I have to do is mow a little bit of this field and I'll be done. So we were talking a little bit at work about vehicles and electric cars. So it's no secret I work for a higher education institution as my day job, and I don't know, the topic came up about solar. I've got solar in the house. I'm a big solar proponent. I believe that if you can do solar, it's well worth the investment. Well, at any rate, we have one electric charging vehicle station on campus, and one of my employees is like, I was like, you know, at some point in time, we probably need to, as an institution, invest in more electric charging stations as more and more resident students. It's a private college, so of course resident students have money. So those resident students that have electric vehicles, right, at some point we need to probably have more than one. And then I thought, well, didn't our idiot governor like sign on with the idiot California plan that all vehicles sold in Virginia by 2034 or 2035 or something would be electric? Not saying that would eliminate all gas vehicles by then, just that new things sold by then would be electric. Well, that's 10 years away, right? So then I thought, you know, for a residential campus, you need a whole boatload of charging stations if you're going to have several electric vehicles owned by residents because they can't exactly wait to go home to charge their cars when they live on campus for months at a time. And that type of significant investment probably needs to be started sooner than later. Because if you have thousands of resident students, you're apt to have easily hundreds of electric cars by then that will need regular charging. So that's a pretty significant investment for the institution. It's also a major infrastructure investment for the local power distribution. And I don't think anyone's really thinking about that from a standpoint of from higher ed or your institutions, where you might have 20, 30,000 residential students and potentially thousands of electric vehicles that all need charging. Yeah, I could see from a business standpoint, a business might have a couple charging stations, but they wouldn't necessarily need to provide electric charging to all their employees, because most of their employees can make at least one round trip, multiple round trips, without needing to charge. Grocery stores, malls, places like that don't necessarily need to invest in charging infrastructures because, well, the idea is you would not need to charge while you are shopping, right? You likely wouldn't need to top off. But for 9 months out of the year, the campus is the student's house. So I think that's going to be interesting to see. If this thing really comes to fruition in 9 years. If the grid is ready. And if there's enough infrastructure ready. I just want to run my car off of water. Top it up with water and let it spew out steam or something. I'm trying to plan, if I buy a car now and then I buy a car like right before this thing takes effect, right? I can probably milk it for 10, 15 years after it takes effect. But, you know, at some point there's a tipping point of charging stations to gas stations. And then at some point, gas stations will become less and less easy to find, to the point where you need an app to tell me where I can get gas, right? And then clearly it's going to be far more convenient for something else. The big problem is no one talks about the toxicity of the batteries that go into those things. I'm 92%. Probably as soon as I get all this mode, it'll say my contract's done. Now the question is, if you complete a grass contract with grass on the ground, will it go away? Anybody tried that? So I wonder if the contract says it's done, will I be able to pick this up with a forage wagon? I mean, why do you not see propane cars? We have propane powered forklifts. I would think maybe the old, you get into an accident and let's hope the pressure vessel doesn't have a leak. Because I would think natural gas would be far more volatile than gasoline or diesel. I don't own the land. So I can't bale this. Can I bale it as grass? If it thinks it's complete? Now we're at 98%. Alright, I just need to get a, what was that? Unsafe at any speed car. Ralph Nader had a book. Yeah, may have been the Corvair. We had a guy at high school that drove one. I think Nader was, I think he was involved in the whole Yugo thing. There was some book or documentary about unsafe at any speed. And it may have been the Corvair, basically. I mean, the Ford Pinto, right? I think the Pinto had a bad reputation for exploding if you tapped its rear bumper. Well, Donald, he probably might not been around back then. I don't know when Yugos like stopped existing. Complete. So we've established from knowledgeable players we cannot use a forage wagon. The question is, where is the baler at? Here it is. Can we bale? Can we bale grass on that now? It is a hay contract, but the contract's over. It'll probably fail. I don't really care. Just a little experiment now. So you go, and then you had the Geo. Wasn't the Chevy Geo around the same time as the Yugo? Or was that afterwards? I know the Geo was the thing when I was in high school. Because we had a teacher that had one. And I made a fabulous joke about Geo cars in my Seasons video. I will let me bale grass. So I could bale this as the grass. I could bale this as grass. Not that I need it. Yeah, I turned in enough bales because I took the bales from the other field. I just took them here and it said 100% bales delivered. But it said my contract wasn't finished because I hadn't mowed it yet. And then as soon as I mowed it, it says it's finished. So I could bale this. Right? You say I can't collect it. Oh my gosh, are you serious? Where did I leave it? Left it over here. No, I didn't. I must have took it back over here. Hey, look where I put it. Well, I would make silage, but I have literally too much. I have 35 bales of silage already. Oh, of course, I can't jump into it. Yeah, I got a bunch of silage bales already. Alright, we're just... I mean, what I want to do is I want to put it in the bunker. But I won't be able to. I have every confidence it won't work. Yep, as you said. Every confidence it wouldn't work. Okay. You want to check something out with this header. Yeah, we're not going to do that. So it was mentioned that the new tether I could shift. Let's see. Yes, okay. So look there, I've turned the tether, so it's now kicking things away from the edge of the field. That's something I didn't know about when we had the hay and forage pre-release stuff. I thought it was just a really well made tether that worked really well with ground that was uneven. But to be able to run it like that, and then when we get done this, I'll flip it the other way. I mentioned dodging rocks and trees with the large windrower. But, you know, like fence row. So we can go this way. We can go that way. Or we can set it back straight. Yeah, then, yeah. Well, I think you mentioned the big windrower to me, but I didn't know this one did that shifting. Gimme Joy, if you're still here, what's up? I saw your comment earlier, but then got sidetracked. So if you went back 100 years, it would be 1924. And if you went forward 100 years, it would be 2124. Well, I think the safe bet is to go back 100 years because you know what you're going to experience. Going forward 100 years, you may time travel to a nuclear wasteland. You might time travel to a world that is a complete disaster, because the idea that in 100 years we'll suddenly change human behavior is pretty doubtful. Right, so you could, all right, the question is, when you travel back 100 years, do you lose all memory? Right? So are you unable to like take any documentation with you, any notes that you may jot down about, you know, maybe all the horse race winners in the next 20 years, you know, that you should really be the guy who, you know, makes a big push for oil somewhere or some other thing. You know, you should be the guy that buys IBM stock the instant it becomes available, and then trade it in on Microsoft stock, and then trade that in on Apple stock, and then trade that in on Google stock, so that and then trade that in on Amazon, and then basically Jeff Bezos is your, you know, your handmaiden, because you've got more money than he'll ever wish he ever had. Or you can't take any of that knowledge with you. I don't really know if they were burning people as witches in 1924. I mean, who knows? You go forward 100 years, you may find out that the Terminator movies were not a science fiction movie. They were a documentary about the future of civilization. You know, like the movie Idiocracy. It's not a comedy. It's a literal documentary about the downfall of humanity. I don't know. I don't know if going forward would unlock a whole bunch of adventures. So think about it this way. Think about the technology that you had in 1924. Okay? And then think about if you had somebody that lived in 1924, and let's say they were 35 years old, and then you cryo freeze them, right? And then you woke them up in 2024, and I think the culture shock would be such that they would be not having adventures. I mean, take a look at, let's just pick on elderly for a moment. So you know, you take my parents, you take your parents, You take your grandparents, great-grandparents, if they're still around, and I would say the vast majority of them have, at best, a minute understanding of fairly commonplace technology. It took 3 grandkids, I don't know how many hours, to teach my mother how to use navigation on her cell phone. Basically how to use Google Maps. Right? It was just black magic. And she still doesn't understand why she can't listen to the radio and have the navigation on her car radio. Right? That's she doesn't understand that they're completely 2 different inputs. You can't watch CBS and NBC at the same time. Type of a deal. So if you go forward 100 years and you think about the technology advancements that we've had in the last 100 years, well, I would say the technology would advance even faster in the next 100 years. I think things would be so advanced that they would be beyond your grasp. And you would probably be on the big time struggle bus to understand what the heck's going on. Right? I mean, I hate searching for things because I can never figure out the right search term to use for literally anything. Meanwhile, my 9-year-old is having a 25-30 minute conversation with a chatbot on his A device about chess. And he doesn't think anything is weird. He's just having a conversation with a speaker. And then chess, then it's like, I think we've talked enough about chess. What other things are you interested in? What types of movies do you like? And of course, all I'm thinking is, oh my God, you're giving Amazon more information to target you. But, he's like, oh, I like this, I like that. Do you like dogs? Yeah, I like dogs. We have this dog. Next thing you know, we're getting ads for, certain types of dog food. But yeah. It's just, conversation. Chatbot was, Teddy Ruxpin with cassette tapes. That was a freaky toy. You can have a chat with Teddy Ruxpin as long as it conforms to the script that's in these cassette tapes. So I would be concerned that going forward 100 years would feel like 200 years worth of progress. The next 100 years, I suspect, will have easily 200 years worth of previous tech progress. So you think about, where were we in 1824 to 2024? I know it's 2023 right now. I think that much progress will happen in the next 100 years. know, guys, I thought these contracts would take a little less time, but we're on the struggle bus. We had a good conversation around the premium expansion, the premium edition coming out on November 14th. We had a nice little chat about the hopefulness around the creative mesh hint. Maybe Straw Harvest is making a return. Giants, I understand, will be releasing the FarmCon schedule tomorrow. It's already gone out to ticket holders. On that schedule, you'll see when the sessions are for sessions about the premium edition, sessions about the new map, sessions about modding, sessions about a new third-party mod. Could that be Creative Mesh? Could that be Straw Harvest? Could that be some other announcement? It's going to be Saturday and Sunday. I do not know if any of it is going to be broadcast on the internet. I've asked and I've gotten silence. And the only response I've gotten so far is a statement that the venue is out in the middle of nowhere. Kind of implying that the internet service is not the greatest. So therefore, one would expect possibly no stream. But Giants may turn the tides on that and may announce tomorrow that it's all going to be streamed on Twitch or YouTube or who knows what. So keep an eye out for some sort of announcement from Giants tomorrow around FarmCon and the schedule. I'll try to provide you as much information as I can get around FarmCon, if I get any information. I'm going to go ahead and bale this all up and probably sell the bales because I've got more bales than I need. I want to thank you all for coming out and watching and having a chat. Yes, hopefully we're going to get information on this 6th mystery map as well as a result of FarmCon. If you are interested in picking up either the premium edition because you do not already have the year 2 season pass or the year 2 season pass, I do have affiliate links down in the description for both of those. They are supplied from Giants, so you will need to be a PC player to take advantage of those. They are redeemed directly from the Giants eShop and are good for any install of Farming Simulator on PC, be it direct download, Steam, or Epic. We'll be doing pre-release streams on the Premium Edition if we are so granted that privilege from Giants in November. But remember, we still have Pack 3 and Pack 4 of the Year 2 Season Pass that is still yet to be announced before we even get to the Premium expansion. Until next time, happy farming.